Yo, 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 it's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio, and we're ready to go. Ho!
Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it.
To knock some boots.
Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it.
To knock some boots.
Get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Yeah, y'all ready to get house, right? Yeah, y'all ready to get house, right? Yeah, y'all ready to get house, right?
Knock some boots.
Feel the juice, time to get loose. We came here to knock some boots.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, y'all ready to get house, yup. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, y'all ready to get house, yup.
Feel the juice, time to get loose. We came here to knock some boots.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, y'all ready to get house, yup. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, y'all ready to get house, yup.
For the same rhyme, it's a new time, and I'm getting by just about that time when you were thinking it. Now I'm back, and I'm breaking it down to the bass below the roof. Now I'm rocking it, here's your proof. Hey, today I dreamed I go solo. I drive the Porsche, and now do you go, giving you the dance that makes you get loose. Here and now, I'm knocking some boots.
Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it.
Beats from the east.
Without a pause.
Beats from the east.
Without a pause.
Beats from the east.
Without a pause.
Kick the bass. Kick the bass. I get tight to rhyme the songs that I'm giving you on the floor. It's time to move the car with another death rhyme. Conjunction of my mind with the rhythm at hand. So addicted to your mind like a grain of sand. If I can't rock it, then no one can. Knock the boots, it's time to dance.
The juice, time to get loose. We came here to knock some boots.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, y'all ready to get house, yup. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, y'all ready to get house, yup.
Feel the juice, time to get loose. We came here to knock some boots.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, y'all ready to get house, yup. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, y'all ready to get house, yup. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it.
Knock some boots.
Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it.
Knock some boots.
Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it.
Knock some boots.
Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it. Get off the mic for get too hot. I'm on it.
Knock some boots. Now wave your hands if you feel like waving them. Now wave your hands if you feel like waving them.
Oh, yeah. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show after Memorial Day party.
Real.
Yes. You know I'm holding it down on the 1 and 2s. You know how I do.
That was a blend of a lot of songs, wasn't it?
You know how I do.
Oh man,
you know how I do it after party.
That's it. That's the old school house music.
Old school
house music, man. That's when, man, you should go to those house parties and just have fun. It was about dancing and being with your friends and stuff like that. And
that's one of them songs where you start dancing, you don't need no partner.
Yeah, you
just dance all by yourself with your drink up in your hand.
And you ever notice that when people be dancing at a house party, they never spill their drink?
Never spill their drink.
Don't spill a drop. I mean, they voguing, going down to the ground, and don't spill a drop.
That's how you know the party is lit.
I know, for real.
The party is
that drink
lit.
is a priority. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you know the party is lit. It's like fire. That's how you know. That's how you know.
But it was about having a good time, man. Having clean fun, and it was about the music, and it was cool, man. It was cool. It was hard to sit down it was hard to rather sit down or be a wallflower at a house. House music, house party. You know what I'm saying?
The barbecues were in full effect over the weekend.
Yes, sir.
And I partaked in all of the festivities.
You did? Okay. That's what's up.
Doing what I do out there, dancing, jamming, getting it in.
Getting it in.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, you can't have a Memorial Day weekend without some barbecue.
No, you gotta have
that's like a recipe that goes with
you gotta listen, you gotta have a barbecue.
Yeah,
you gotta have a barbecue.
Yeah.
You gotta have the drinks.
I got you.
And listen, people, do not invite me to your barbecue if you don't have no potato salad. I'm sorry, I'm not coming.
Yeah, you gotta have potato salad.
I'm not coming.
That's Memorial Day tradition.
Listen, you gotta have potato salad and you have to have some collard greens. I'm sorry.
But you know what? Everybody can't make potato salad.
Yeah, that's
true. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't make potato salad.
Listen, that's true. So get your testers out. Okay. Over there in England.
Before you invite.
They have testers.
Okay.
Testers test all of the queen's food before she eats it.
I got you.
Somebody gotta test my food before I eat it.
Okay.
Don't be inviting me to your barbecue and you can't cook now.
Right.
Cause I'm gonna walk in and walk out.
But you gonna take that plate with you, right?
No, I'm not taking over in the back. Listen, if the potato salad is not good, I'm gonna skip all over it. I'm sorry.
Do you on Memorial Day? Do you go barbecue hopping?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm just trying to check. You know what I'm saying? You got a one barbecue. Stay for a couple hours. Fix a plate, roll. Right.
Go to one barbecue. My limit is 45 minutes.
Oh man.
Dance a little bit. Get my soda on. Get my food. Pack my little. Test the food first.
Right.
And then hop on to the next one. And my thing is, as I'm rolling out, I holla.
I got you. That's right. You head to the next.
And on to the next one.
On to the next one.
When you roll up into the next one, you got to be fashionably late. And so when you come, you got to go, hey, y'all.
Yeah. That's what's up.
And everybody at the same time go, hey.
And everybody's your cousin. You know what I'm saying? No matter what barbecue you show up to, everybody's your cousin. You know what I mean?
What is the most popular name that everybody's cousin is named?
I don't even know.
Boo. Everybody got a cousin named Boo. Hey, Boo.
I thought that was a generic term that you just call all the young ladies.
That's what you call it when you don't.
Oh, when you don't know their name. Yeah. So when you step up in a party and don't know their name.
Hey, Boo.
Yeah. Or you ever been in one of them situations on Memorial Day party or gathering and somebody know you and you don't know their name?
Yeah.
And they be like, yo, what's up, Kev? You be like, what's up, baby?
That's it. That's it right there. That's
you
it.
Mean, man?
When you don't, and then you hit yourself.
Yeah,
what's their name again?
Yo, where I know him from?
Wait a minute, hold up. Where we know him from?
Yeah. That's your cousin, stupid.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, my thing. Hey, sugar, how you doing? Okay, mama, I see you. Yes.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
Yeah.
Do we know her? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, we definitely got to give a shout out to the troops, though.
Yeah.
And everybody who served in our armed forces.
Shout out to the troops.
Yeah, we definitely support the troops here on the Kevin and Nikki show.
Do. I got a few up in my family.
Yeah, I got some of my family too, man, that have passed away.
Yep.
And some that's still alive, man. So yeah, we talking a lot of fun about the barbecues and collard greens. But we got
potato salad.
But
it's about the troops
today. It's about the troops, man.
So shout out to all of our troops. you know, those who have retired from the armed services, you know, armed forces, shout out to you. Yep. You know, thank you for protecting us.
That's right.
Doing what you do. Thank you so much.
Very
much. We support our troops.
We support our troops. That's right.
We support our troops. And we may have, you know, a difference in opinion, but we support our troops.
Yeah, we support our troops. We definitely, man. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and I got to add the National Guard.
Definitely.
We can't leave out.
A lot of people forget
about the National Guard.
A lot of
they
people
go in when others whether won't or can't.
Yeah, a lot of people sleep on the National Guard, but the National Guard is just as important as the other.
Yes, they do. Because when they had that big, remember the big flood was down in St. Louis? Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, the National Guard went in and kicked. But, I mean, they really, really did.
And let me tell you, I be seeing some photos on Facebook, you know, about what the National Guard does. Yeah. And one of the photos that always get me every time I see it is the one where they are in the helicopter and they're lowering the bed down to get somebody out of the ocean. Yeah. That's dangerous.
Yeah. Or if they're not doing that, they jumping into the ocean to save lives,
That's dangerous.
That's very dangerous.
That's a very dangerous job. So shout out to the National Guard.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm going to tell you, I got my newfound respect for the National Guard when I saw the movie The Guardian. Kevin Costner, Ashton Kutcher. It gave you a whole new respect for what they do, man. Yes, and they laying their lives on the line as well. So shout out to the National Guard and all the armed forces, man. And, you know, from what I hear, it's kind of like, you know, just kind of rivalry between the Army. We're better. All y'all, lottie-dottie, everybody.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. A million times.
That's right.
Thank you. Because like I said, thank you for protecting us.
That's right.
I feel I can sleep a lot safer because I know that you guys are doing your job.
That's right. Holding down the borders.
Thank you very much. So holding down our borders and, you know, over there and fighting and carrying on. Thank you. Like I said, I sleep a lot better because you guys are doing what you do. You get the best.
You get the best.
They get the Army. Air Force Marines. Army, Navy, Air Force Marines, and the National Guard. You guys get the belt. Oh, that was horrible.
You gotta try that again.
You guys get the bell. I had to break it down for me. See, this is what happens when you are like yelling and stuff and dancing and carrying on at the Memorial Day parties and stuff like that. You lose your voice.
Sometimes.
You lose your voice. So, and I lost my voice because I was like, you know, shouting and carrying on because the music was hot.
I got you. But we always got stuff going on. So with that said, it is time for the many adventures of Kevin and Nikki.
Woo! Yes! Woo! Yes.
So, Nick, start with you. What you got going on?
Listen, I'm super excited. So we got the green light. Okay. We got the green light on the big script coming out of Delaware. Okay. Yes, we ready to go. We're going to be going to the table for the table read very soon. Okay. And we're going to be shooting very soon.
That's what's up.
So I'm super excited about that because this thing is going to be blown out the water. I'm like so happy. Everyone is jumping on board to help out.
That's what's up.
With this film. He got a lot of investors ready to go, you know, and I'm like super excited about that. And then I'm super excited about what's coming up on the 15th.
June 15th?
Yes, June 15th.
It's going down.
It's going down.
Spiral Awards show.
Yes, it's
going down. At the Venice Island Theater.
I'm like super excited about that. You know, it's just such an honor. I've been working on my speech. All I hope is that I don't get up there and get so nervous that I forget my speech.
Well, no, the first thing you don't want to do is trip and fall.
Well, I ain't going to do that.
You know, whatever you do, don't fall.
I'm an actress. I don't trip and fall. We step and fetch. Okay. That's what we do. We step and fetch. Ain't no falling up in this joint. I just don't want to, you know, forget my speech because I'm so excited and I'm so nervous at the same time. But I've been working on it. I've been saying my speech in the mirror, and you know how that thing go when you're trying to prepare and you get up and you see all them people looking at you and clap. You're like,
right.
Thank you very much. the tears are flowing and I can't get it out.
Right,
so I'm gonna try and hold it together.
I'm
gonna try, but I'm so excited to actually, go through that process of being nominated and then find out that you actually won that joint.
Yeah.
Best actress in film. Right. That is hot. And I cannot wait to bring that thing home. I've been dusting off that spot where I'm going to put it so many times. I think I'm wearing the paint on.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I ain't gonna lie. I already have cleaned off the spot.
Yes.
I'm going to place my award so that when I walk in the house, that's going to be the first thing I see every day. It's going to remind me of an awesome accomplishment, but also to stay humble and to stay hungry. Because to be nominated is one thing, but to be nominated and to be honored is a whole nother thing. Mm-hmm. And I read the description on the Spiral Awards, man, and there was a sentence that really hit home with me. It said, honoring the best in film, music, sports, radio.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was like, wow, somebody else thought that we were the best.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm super stoked about that thing.
Yeah, that's going to be dope, man. It's going to be dope, man. So June 15th, the Spiral Awards, Venice Island, 7 Lock Street, Philadelphia, PA, in the Manioc section. And that theater up there is phenomenal. $45 million state-of-the-art theater. It is crazy. It's going to be crazy up in there.
It's going to be crazy up in there.
It's Black Tie Fair.
Oh,
it's gala.
God. Listen.
It's going to be dope.
I am super stoked because I'm in the market for a gown.
Right.
And I have looked at so many gowns online. I'm like, oh my God, I need to be able to make a statement with my gown. So I'm trying to, I'm just so nervous. I just want to make sure I look good. I sound good.
Right.
You go ahead. Talk about you.
Yeah. Look, I'm just super excited, as you are, man. It's going to be great, man. It still hasn't sank in yet. You know what I mean? It still hasn't sank in. I think it will that night once I'm holding that award in my hand. And it may not even sink in then. You know what I'm saying? But it's just going to be a great experience, an unforgettable night, man. We're looking forward. We're definitely humbled and honored to be honored by such a prestigious, national and internationally recognized venue, man. It's just going to be awesome.
I know.
That's what's up. But man. So, other than that, man, I've just been staying on my fitness, my fitness trail, and my daily exercise is going great and stuff like that. Like I said, if I could just put down the Micah-Nikes, the Crimpets, and some other stuff,
listen,
I'll be even better. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard because I've been staying on my exercise grind as well, and I'm starting to see a lot of things, y'all, take some form, but
how do we get here, man? How do we end up in these places? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, go ahead, Nikki.
That hourglass is coming in now, but I'm just saying. But those Boston baked beans, I'm having a hard time.
It's hard to put it down,
But I will tell you this though, I am still on my water regimen.
Okay, that's what I've been trying to do too.
I am still doing that. I'm still doing a lot of the exercises that I told you that I was doing. I'm still doing that, and that's helping the stuff just.
Yeah. But look, you know what? Look, I remember in college, I was 190 pounds, 2% body fat. I was just strictly all muscle. And so sometime when you're kind of going through your exercise, it's, knowing what you used to be. So I used to have a 6-pack. Now I got a 2-liter. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to get back down. Yeah. But it's going well. I'm excited.
I'm going to tell you what's motivating me.
What's that?
What's motivating me to make sure I work out and, build up the muscle and everything that I want to build up is because I want to so badly get cast in a Marvel film.
Okay.
And you got to be physically fit for Marvel, you got to be in shape.
That's right.
So to be fighting and jumping off of stuff. So I want to be able to show them that I can roll with the others.
Right.
So in order to do that, I have to be in good shape.
You got to.
I have to be, muscled up a little bit. Not too much where I look like,
like She-Hulk.
Yeah, I don't want to look like She-Hulk, but I want to be able to at least go to the table with a nice muscle tone so they can say, you know what, I want her here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because those girls up in Black Panther, they were muscled down.
They were fit. They were fit. They were definitely fit.
They were fit.
They kicked butt too.
Exactly. So in order to be able to rock with them, I need to be able to stand next to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's motivating me to make sure that I get up in the gym and pump that iron, do my squats and different things like that.
I got you. That's what's up, man. Other than that, man, I still got to finish up my my 3-day scene. I'm looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. So I got that and got my lines down, man. And soon we're about to start Colors on the Other Side of the Track. So I'm looking forward to that, man. That's going to be good. So I'm playing the lead in that as Dr. Reginald Jackson. Mm-hmm. And I love those roles that present a challenge for you. And so, of course, I accept the challenge, and I'm going to do it. But I've been on my I stay on my karate movie.
I know.
I stay on my karate movie look.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I be checking out the karate movie, but lately I've been checking out the old Godzilla movies.
Nice.
Now I'm not talking about the one with Roderick, not the one where you end up in New York.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the old when he fights like in Tokyo.
Oh,
I went way back on it.
You went back.
Yeah, I went way back on it. I'm talking about the Godzilla. It looked like somebody wearing a costume.
Yeah.
That I've been on that, and I've been enjoying it, man.
You went way.
I went way back, man. It's dope, man. Look, I grew up on Godzilla, King Kong, and so it's been dope. They've been showing them on the old TV station, and it's been very, very entertaining. It's real interesting to watch it, and then we see what CGI is now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you really go back and you watch an old Godzilla movie where it really it's like a man in a costume. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You really appreciate like where technology has brought it. Mm-hmm. Just think about this, like take Transformers, for example. They would have never been able to make a movie like that in the 80s or the 70s or 60s because the technology just wasn't there.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's dope, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's dope.
That's awesome. So also I'm cutting my own grass.
You've been cutting your own grass?
I've been cutting my own grass.
Okay.
And the way my house is, remember I told you that I have a forest and all that behind my house. And so the house, it goes
she
down.
Got forest in the back of her house, y'all. Birds and deer and skunk. Remember I told you I had a forest. You just go hate on the brag.
And a lake behind my house. Yes. Sister has come up. And I'm going to go a little higher, once that breakout road comes in. I'm going a little higher.
I know that's right. Look, we ain't apologizing.
I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But the way my yard is, it goes down the slope. So I'm pushing the lawnmower, right?
Oh, man. I know what's going to happen.
Why did I slip and fall and the lawnmower started dragging me down the hill?
Oh, man. You lucky you didn't get injured, man.
I know.
Man, yeah.
But all you saw was me sliding.
Let me guess.
It was the funniest thing ever.
Let me guess. You had on high heels.
No, I had on. You know what?
I'm just playing. Some women got to wear high heels when they mow the lawn. No,
I had on.
Prince Charming might drive by or something. I don't know.
I had on my sneakers and it had a little wedge on it. So and I slid all the way down the hill and I had to jump up real quick and dust myself off because I didn't want nobody to see me do it.
Yeah, somebody.
But hey, if Prince Charming rolled by and he see me sliding down that hill, his behind better get out that car and help me.
I hear you.
He better not let me slide down that hill. I'm just saying. Well, he won't be Prince Charming.
Yeah, he won't be much of Prince Charming. He don't sure help
won't. He don't help me. He don't see me with that lawnmower sliding down the hill.
Actually, he's supposed to come mow your lawn for you.
Well, actually, yes, he is. Okay. So Prince Charming, come mow my. Nope, never mind.
See,
no.
See, you see how that's what I'm trying to say. How do we get here? See when doors get open.
No, I listen because you don't want everybody coming to your house.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I got you.
You don't want everybody. I will mow my own grass. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so on that note, we're gonna take a break.
Yes,
and then we're gonna introduce our special guest.
Listen, our special guest is awesome. He got an awesome message for the fathers. And I'm super excited to talk to him when we come back. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
I wrote this for the black fathers. The true black fathers. Stand up.
Okay, the other day I had to sit down with my baby girl. She's still real young, but she ain't dumb, or must I keep it real? She started school, I tell her others may be cruel. Just do what you supposed to do, don't follow what the others do. It won't be easy, but daddy knows best, believe me. Raising children even harder, I don't know how to be a father. My father barely bothered, it was me, my mom, and Myra. In that 2-bedroom apartment, always wish we had our fathers. Too many black brothers leave they toddlers, then the single parent mothers gotta teach the kids survival. Respect to my mama, I appreciate your guidance, but the loving mother aura couldn't keep me from that corner. A man should raise a man, that same man should teach his daughter self-respect, and don't you never let him put his hands on you. Sometimes I wonder, what if my pop was Malcolm? Will my bad decisions, harsh living still be the outcome? Ain't no power like the power of a black father. He shall inspire the black children to reach higher. The true role models is the black fathers, and the mothers playing fathers, cause baby daddy a straight coward. Ain't no power like the power of a black father. He shall inspire the black children to reach higher. The true role models is the black fathers, and the mothers playing fathers, cause baby daddy a straight coward. Deadbeat daddies, when you see them in the streets, they happy. Most of the time he playing daddy in another family. Meanwhile, his kid, he grow up broken family with no daddy. That dude that beat his mom and touch his sister, his stepdaddy. Then you got that other dude that love his kid. Baby mama, she a trippin', all she care about is bread. Back and forth to family court, custody and child support. Feel like you're back against the wall. Best believe I feel you raw. Cause through it all, you gotta play your part. It ain't that baby fault that you and her don't get along. See, this is more than just a song. Some of these brothers is dead wrong, or maybe I just care too much about the kids that get left scarred. I salute that black father that stand tall. Won't be there when time's hard. America clap for him. Not only cause he there, but because he gon' work harder to be a better man to his family than his father. Ain't no power like the power of a black father. He shall inspire the black children to reach higher. The true role models is the black fathers, and the mothers playing fathers, cause baby daddy a straight coward. Ain't no power like the power of a black father. He shall inspire the black children to reach higher. The true role models is the black fathers, and the mothers playing fathers, cause baby daddy a straight coward.
Yeah, that's right. And not only the black father, but I specify the black father because we get a bad rep. Just for everybody out there, every man taking care of his family. Take a real man to take care of his family. Salute all the fathers. Team Danger Zone. RA Certified.
Yeah. That thing was fire.
That was dope.
That thing was fire.
That was dope.
Yes. Yeah, I need to contact him so we can, we can get them lyrics written down and post them up on our page, because that thing is awesome. That was dope.
Well, we're gonna post the video. We're gonna definitely post the video.
Yes.
So people can see this video.
Yes.
Listen to the words of this song.
Yes.
And when Father's Day come, we gotta play that back.
We gotta play that.
We do our Father's Day edition. We play that.
We have to play that back. That was fire. The video was just hot like
good.
that.
It was good.
Yes.
It was great. Had a great message. If you listen to the words, the video was cool to just see fathers come together with their kids and stuff like that. Because like he said in the song, black fathers do get a bad rep.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I think what happens is the good fathers, the ones that are out there holding it down, like my man RA Certified.
Woo, woo.
You know what I'm saying? They get overshadowed.
Yes.
They get overlooked.
Yes. And
so,
listen, you know I'm a lyrical genius, right?
Yeah.
So I was listening to the lyrics and how he was saying the mothers are holding it down because the fathers don't want to bother.
Right.
You hear that?
He said, baby daddy is straight coward.
Yes, that rhymes. The father don't want to bother.
But now where you get that from? Where did you get that from?
I just threw it in there.
Okay.
I'm a lyrical genius.
You sure you ain't get that from Shaquille O'Neal?
Wait a minute.
We're going to play that song too. On Father's Day edition, we're going to play Biological Didn't Bother. That's going to be one of them. Yeah, man. That was a tribute to Sergeant Phil Harris.
Yes,
so, yeah, I can't wait for that. But, yeah, we definitely playing this song.
We're definitely playing this song. He get the bell for being high. Woo! Listen, we are talking about none other than Philly hip-hop artist RA Certified.
Yeah.
He started rapping at the age of 13, influenced by both hip-hop and the oldies R&B, inspired by lyrical MCs and soulful writers such as Nas, Tupac, yes, Curtis Mayfield, and Marvin Gaye.
Let's get it on.
Ooh, yes. Hit it. Let's get it on. How we get here?
You be losing focus, man. Yeah.
Okay, listen, y'all. R.A. went by the name of Razor in the beginning of his rap career, but changed his name to R.A. Certified, meaning the official one. R.A. equals real artist. I like that. Real artist. Right. Real artist. Okay. R.A. provides a witty bar delivery with a confident and raw demeanor that mostly touch on social and ghetto issues, which is what we do here at the Kevin and Nikee Show.
Yeah.
Yes. Now listen to this. R.A. has shared the stage with countless hip-hop legends, both old school and new school artists such as KRS-One.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Raheem, Schoolie D, Beanie Siegel, Freeway, Mickey D, Naughty by Nature. Yes. I love me some Naughty by Nature. Yes. I love it. Gilly D.A. Kid, Nice and Smooth, Craig G. Fred, The Godson, Brand Nubian, Corey Guns, Mr. Cheeks, Moni Love, Special Ed, Das Effect, and many more. R.A. is currently working on his 4th solo project titled The Grateful EP and is due to release.
It might be out.
It might be out already.
Yeah,
I think that thing came. You know what? Let's just bring him on.
Let's bring him
on.
All
we
right.
are talking about none other than R.A. Certified. Woo! R.A.
Yo, what's up, man?
Good?
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Your song is dope, hot, fire, and any adjective that would be in line with that, man.
Listen, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You got a lengthy bio here. I ain't want to take up the show reading the bio because I need you to tell us something.
That's right.
You know, I need you to talk about it. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just working, man. I'm trying to keep filling that bio up. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's a lengthy bio.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Yes.
Well, you doing it. Well, look, let's jump right into the interview.
Let's jump right into it. So listen, I want to talk about this song.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go straight to the song because you hit the nail right on the head with the lyrics in this song. Tell our listeners a little bit about how you came up with the concept because the video is fire.
Right.
Tell our listeners a little bit about how you came up with that.
Well, that song kind of just been stirring up for a lifetime, actually. Like, early in my life, you know, my father was like in and out of it. You know, he dealt with like drugs and stuff. So, you know, I didn't have the kind of childhood that I wanted, you know what I mean, from a father. Like, my mom did everything, you know what I'm saying? But it's just stuff that a mom can't do that you know, you're going to go to a guy for certain things.
Right.
So, I think just, you know, growing up, I always realized that. I always knew it was a void, you know what I mean? I always knew that was missing from my life. But then once I got to, like, older and I had my own children, then that's when it really, you know, just like really opened my eyes to how important a father is in the kid's life.
Right.
So I think it just, you know, it just stirred up. Like, I think it's just like, I've probably been just putting that song together just at all times, you know what I mean? So when I finally started writing it and the beat came to me, and I said, oh, you know what, I think this would be a good concept for this song, it kind of just all just came out with like no problem. You know, it wasn't like I really had no hesitation with writing what I was writing. It just all came to life. Like, even the scenarios I put together with the father that's dealing with the baby mom and don't, you know what I mean? That's a problem. And then you got also how I put it in perspective how, okay, if she's a problem, you still got to be a man about your situation.
Right.
What all measures that you have to go through to, you know, be in that child's life. Because that's the only one that's like, you know, dealing with, you know, that's going through something that's going to like, you know, go through that for the rest of their life, not having their father. So, you know, I don't want to like beat fathers up, you know what I'm saying? But we, you know, it's up to us really, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
No matter what, no matter the circumstances, it's up to us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our children's life.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I think that's just what I took from. I just took from, you know, something real, something that's like really going on, and
right.
There really wasn't no process to writing it. It just like it just came out just like that.
Right.
Yeah. And I like how you touched on how the woman is stuck with raising the kids because the father isn't there. Mm-hmm. I liked how you touched on that, and you kept touching on that. I really appreciate that, because a lot of people will not mention that, but you did. So kudos, hats off to you for that. You get the belt for that. You get the belt for that. Because it, you know, it.
Yeah.
You know, it is hard.
Strong points too. Yeah, I wanted with that. Now, with that, like I said, my mom raised me. My mom is a successful woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, watching her, you know what I mean, raise me and my sister, and just try to give us the most and the best, and also my grandmother. It's like I'm the elder male in my family. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
In my family. So I always looked up to women, and I always respected women to where though that had to go on the song. Like it's women out here playing both roles, and I'm going to, you know, and I'm going to respect that. And
right.
It's been like that for a while now. You know what
I'm
saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think this generation, we kind of like, you know, we're kind of stepping up to the plate more because we didn't have them fathers in our life. Like,
right.
All my friends had a father.
Right.
So, but all my friends have children today, and we all do the birthday parties and everything together. So
nice.
You're seeing us, everybody step up to the plate now. You know what I mean? Without being pushed towards the plate. It's just we want to be fathers in our kids' life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that's why I just thought the song was important. And yeah, definitely wanted to, you know, give my kudos to the women that's out here playing both roles.
Right. Yeah, and you know, you hit on some other points in the video and in the song. The guy who came to the door with the money.
Yeah.
Who he wanted to be a father. He wanted to be in his kids' lives, but from the woman's perspective, it was just about the child support.
Right.
And we talked about that with Rel Dowdell on our show before. So you hit on like the whole spectrum of things, but I'm gonna tell you, man, I gotta, you know, give you kudos, because when I look at the overall theme of what you're doing with the song, with the video, you're breaking chains.
Yes.
Because see, you just gave your story about, you know, your father's situation, but I follow you on Facebook, man. You got your family up there. In the video, you with your children, you with your family. You're breaking chains. You're sending a message to the African American father that because you didn't grow up with a father, the excuse is removed. Yes. Go be what you didn't get. And that's what we see you doing. You out here being what you didn't get and being even better.
Yes.
Right.
That's dope, man.
And I'm so grateful that it's noticed, you know, because I don't do it, you know, commercially. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm actually archiving a lot of the family stuff I have on my Instagram right now, you know, because I want some stuff kind of like, you know, undisclosed. But I am glad that, you know, people is, because I do get a lot of, you know, I get a lot of salutes for that. Like the main thing people say to me is, well, how the hell are you doing all of this and maintaining your family?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the family thing is real important to me, and the family thing is like a, you know, it's a tug of war thing. I go through a lot, you know what I mean?
Right.
I go through a lot, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm out here chasing this, but if I intertwine the two, hopefully we all happy at the end of the day. Right.
I got you. That's real. That's real, man. That's real. And then trying to find that, you know, healthy balance, it can be challenged. Sometimes it'll tip one way, sometimes it'll tip the other way. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, man, you're doing what you can do effectively to, you know, be that father figure, man, and it permeates, man, especially for us as African Americans, because like you said in the song, we get a bad rap. You know what I'm saying?
And I also like how he showed what happens when the mother is tearing the child away from the father. Right. Remember the little boy standing at the door crying because he wants to see the father, and she wouldn't open the door, and the boy is crying at the door. I like how he put that.
That's real. That's real. Yeah. Yeah.
It's real, yeah.
That's real stuff.
We put the kids in that scenario, like I'm leaving by, and he start going off like that. And it brought us back to, I remember that, I just remember being a kid and wanting my father really bad. And I don't know what really went on. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. But I just know that it was a void missing.
Right.
It was a big, big emptiness not having a father, So, yeah, I think that song just, I think it'll live on forever. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Like, it just, it just speaks about what's been going on for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. I'm an information driven guy, man, and so I study things from an educational standpoint. I study things from a spiritual standpoint. I don't leave out the practical standpoint. So I did a study a while ago, man, on the father wound from a spiritual perspective. And they equate the father wound is likened to the feeling of a widow. In terms of like hurt and pain and stuff like that. The good news is we can be healed from that hurt and pain by going out and being that which we didn't get.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when we can go out and be a better father to our children or to somebody else's child, it brings about a healing, man. But I had to ask you this, man. Like I looked at a lot of people who you look up to, in the rap game who kind of maybe influenced you. And I see a rap artist who kind of is going old school, using your music to talk about the social issue. That's what KRS-One did. That's what Public Enemy did. That's what Rakim. They were talking about the stuff that was going on in the black community, the joblessness, the police brutality. What influenced you to kind of gear your music to, take that social issues route?
It was like a sport, you know what I mean? It was just fun to play with words and to see, what witty punchlines I could come up with and, stuff like that. But once I really got like knee deep into like the music and like studying the people that I took a liking into, that's what I got from it. I said, there's a message in this stuff.
Right.
So, like coming out of like high school, whatever, like them years, and I think because maybe when I was younger, 13, 14, 15, I had nothing to really talk about. You really had nothing to talk about when you're that young. You can exaggerate and talk about all the Bentleys and rollies you want to see on your body.
He's a rollie. That's right. Yeah, that's real.
I seen, I seen friends killed. I seen. Like I said, I'm still dealing with not having my father. Like I would love for my dad is dead now.
Right.
I can't. There's no fixing what never was fixed.
Right.
And I would love for him to see his grandchildren and to see the man that I am.
Right.
That's something that I deal with like all the time. So
that's real.
I put it all in the music. Like that's my way of dealing with things.
Right.
I like Tupac. You know what I mean? And not only because he's a rapper. But it's like, I'm a Gemini too, you know what I mean?
I got you.
I have this conscious, like, humble side in me, and then there's a whole other side of me. And a lot of that comes from hurt and fear and all of them type of things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real.
When I channel it and put it in the music, and then to sit back and just hear it come out, and to hear somebody else get some type of inspiration or motivation from it means the world to me.
Right. That's,
money at that point, because it's like father is me, you know what I mean?
Right.
Everything in there, every part in there is a piece of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when people are saying, man, I can relate to that part, I relate to that part, I relate to it's all my part. You know what I mean? So it does something to me. Yes, it keeps me motivated and keep these gears running. And I fell in love with making that kind of music. I fell in love with like teaching and being, and hitting people where they wasn't thinking. Or
right.
All of that. Like, I found, I took a liking into that. So, and those has been my strongest songs. Like,
there you go.
To still have fun and party and cook out and do all of that. But I always give you some of them cuts where as though I'm gonna make you think.
There you go.
Make you, I'm gonna make you feel guilty. Whatever the case may be, you're gonna get a feeling from my music.
There you go. That's
nice.
A feeling from a verse.
Right.
Nice. Now, your latest project, Grateful EP, it's already out. Tell our listeners a little bit about Grateful EP and Black Father. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Grateful EP, it's actually an album now. We made it an album. I think 12 tracks on there.
Okay.
All original music, and it's exactly, what the title is. It's Grateful. Around that time, I wrote Black Father, and then I wrote a song called Live Your Life, and I wrote a song. You know what I mean? I wrote a lot of songs. I wrote what is it called? Self-hate, where I'm teaching and telling you to love yourself. And,
right.
You know what I mean? So it was like a real uplifting time in my life. I'm kind of on a roll right now. A lot of things are happening for me, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for the fans. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for all of that. So I wanted to, like I said, I channel when I'm feeling into my music. So I said, all right, let's just do a whole album and just call it Grateful. Let's just step away from what we're doing for the moment, and I just want to do some songs, and I want to uplift people, and I want people that's dealing with these problems and these, everything. And it's where we was at in the world months ago, where we're still at, but where we're at with the cops killing all the black guys, and just everywhere we was at, it was all over the place. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just wanted to calm everybody down, have something easy. So it's like soul music. It's like a lot of that Marvin Gaye feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's great, man. Yeah, me and Nikki, we talk a lot about, we challenge our listeners about using your platform, no matter how big, how medium, how small. If you are a mailman or a mail woman, use your platform to inspire or touch other people. I mean, just a mailman or a mail woman smiling at a person as they deliver their mail. You never know how that might touch them, or just being pleasant. And, you're using your platform, man, to, develop social consciousness or a consciousness period.
Yeah.
And you want to, touch lives. Like you said, you want people to walk away and make them think. You know what I mean? And
I don't want it to be forced. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Remember when we had Tupac around, and like you said, Public Enemy, when we had them around, it wasn't forced.
Right.
James Brown, you know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't forced on you. It made you feel good to hear that. He said that. I can say that.
Right.
So that's how I try to approach it. I just want to be something original and inspiring.
Right.
So
that's what's up, man. Man. And I feel like we all have a responsibility. We can, Nikki and I can relate to you in such that we use our acting as our means of conveying inspiration, encouragement, motivation, or to make you think. Because in acting, we tell people if they say, if you can make someone feel, then they'll always remember you.
Right.
If I can play a character that can make you angry and not like me, or make you laugh or make you cry, you'll always remember. When people listen to your music, what attribute do you feel is going to make them always remember you when they walk away from a RA certified song?
It's the passion. They're going to feel the passion.
Yes.
Gotcha.
They're like, oh, it's real when you can feel it. They feel it.
Right.
And like I said, it's not forced. It's not forced. You know what I mean? I'm just being me. I'm just doing me. If it's a slow song, it's slow. If it's fast, if it's aggressive. And like I said, a lot of the times it's what's going on in my life. So let's listen clear to the bars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's stuff going on in my life and it's all in there. I don't talk a lot, but I rap a lot. You see what I'm saying?
I like that. I don't talk a lot, but I rap a lot.
That's right. I like that.
Yeah.
So it's all in there, So you can feel it. You can feel it. You know when it's real. You know when you can relate and you can feel the artist. You know when it's real.
Right. I got you.
Yes, I have that. I know I have that.
Yeah, you definitely got that. You definitely got that. Yeah, because as we watched the video, listened to the song, it was like it was one thing whether if you had a father or you didn't, you still could relate. Because if it didn't apply to you, you knew one of your homies growing up that didn't have a father in their situation. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead, bro.
That's how we used to promote it. If you ain't got a father, you are a father.
Right.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If you had one, whatever the case may be, and you can relate because it takes two for us to get here.
Right. That's right. Yeah, good stuff, man.
I like to say, Tupac wrote Dear Mama, I wrote Black Father.
There you go.
There you go.
Like we got that. Those are anthems for us people.
That's right.
And who else can relate? Like poverty is poverty.
Right.
Now I want to switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about acting, because I see you doing a lot in the acting field.
Yeah.
You are writer and creator for a popular web series called Shysters, as which you play the character Bruce. So tell our listeners a little bit about Shysters.
So Shysters, it's me and my friends. Like, first off, like Shysters, I give salute to Los and Reem and Spiz, and we just all put this together. Just running around with the camera and say, let's do a skit. So we did the first skit from the first episode, where though Bruce is out there selling food stamps, and he's like trying to, turn the food stamps into money.
Okay.
And you find out at the end of the show, it ain't even his damn food stamps.
He's selling somebody else's food stamps.
He gets the call from his girlfriend, like, I know you not out with the food stamps.
That's what's up.
Listen.
Yeah.
Wow.
It just went from there. Everybody fell in love with that. That jumped up. The views went so fast on that. And then it was like, damn, y'all want to do another one? Let's just keep these characters going. People fell in love with the character I was. Everybody said, I know somebody like him. I know that guy. Like you were saying, feeling. They felt them.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
They was checking their pockets when I came around.
Wow. Because Shysters was nominated for 5 awards in its premiere season. Right, and it's been picked up by LifeFam TV, and it's currently on the Roku.
Okay,
nice.
That's what's
up.
Yes,
you can catch it on Roku. I like it. Yes.
That's what's up.
And then you also have, what? Another film, Circles.
Oh, Circle of Consequence. Yeah, I did that. They've been out for a while now. That's actually available on YouTube now.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, Dante Purnell, a director. Yeah, he casted me as the lead in Circle of Consequence. It's a good film. I don't want to give too much away about it. It's a hood film. It's interesting though. It's definitely a twist on it. I like to do the films with like a twist at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you got Mike Check, directed by Micah Nelson.
Yeah, Mike Nelson is that dude, man. I was in a short film directed by Mike Nelson. It's called The Shoes, dealing with the sneakers. Mike Nelson is that dude. Yeah, but go ahead, nice. Mike Check.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mike Check. Yeah, that's another one. I was casted as the lead alongside a beautiful woman. She's from the UK, and she was on a lot of stuff out there or whatever. She did Broadway, Cinderella and stuff. So, it was like a real good experience for me to be alongside them people that's like really knee deep in the game. And, for me to have the lead, a lot of pressure on me. So, that was an experience, but I had fun on that set too. Yeah, the movie's been out for a while. Actually I've been doing a lot since whatever you reading, Nikki.
Just put you out there.
Just put me out there. Certified.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I remember we were
like some of the beginning films I've done though. Those are like, salute them for putting me on some of the first films I've done.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, I remember we filmed a scene together in Single and Anxious when we were on the strip doing the gambling scene. Yeah, man, and we was out there. You'd have thought that was a real gambling scene going. They were like, look, this ain't acting. Them bulls was out there. They was shooting them dice, boy. But it was so much fun, man. But I'm going to tell you what I really enjoyed, man. Before we went out and filmed the scene, we was in the room. Everybody introduced themselves, and everybody went around. They said, why don't you do something that's kind of geared to what it is that you do? So I did a monologue, Becker by Jitney, the poet, the guy who did poetry. And then you got up there, did your rap, man, which I thought was phenomenal, man. And then we went out there, did the scene. And, like when I listen to people rap, I listen to the words. Like I'm just not, just not looking for something to sway my head. I'm listening to the words, man. And you was spitting consciousness, man. You was spitting
so y'all was freestyling on set.
He said, look, let's just do it. Franchella Simmons was up there recording, and it was just dope. Yeah. And what was so amazing was everybody kind of had the same theme about the uplifting of the Black African American community and stuff like that. So it was dope, man.
Yeah, because we're going through a lot right now.
The thing is, you can see it's a lot of people, awake and awoke and talking a lot of, it's a lot of that going on right now. It's kind of like the times, I don't know, I don't want to, misquote nothing, but like the times when the Afros was around and, and they was running around just, getting their own people together, like the Black Panther movements and all that type of stuff. Like when all that stuff was going on, it's still like that again. I don't know how that felt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just feels like something equivalent to that, you know what I'm saying?
Man. That's interesting that you said that.
Musicians with the Kendrick Lamar.
They
get it out there now. Like you can finally get that out there and, keep people, hopefully our people stay awake and, and take something more from this hip hop and from TV and, just take more than just entertainment.
Right.
Get some food for thought finally.
Right. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I might have been talking to Nikki about how the time seemed like it's moving back towards the 60s and the 70s. Like you said, with
we've talked about
the police brutalities and the shooting of the unarmed Black people. And you said the key word, man. We as African Americans, man, we got to be enlightened. We got to see what's going on, and we got to govern ourselves accordingly.
Like I said, even with the rap, you know what I mean? No matter what it is, if you don't have knowledge on it, there's no way you can know what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you can do you can have your way of doing it, but there's no way you can know what you're doing if you don't have knowledge on whatever. You know what I'm saying? So especially, our people, I think the more and more we get, educated on who we are and where we come from, not just what we learn in the textbooks, we were slaves. No, but that we were, we just were intelligent, just thrown out the box. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Out there, I think that we would, we're elevated at a rapid speed. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. The best way to elevate is to elevate your mind.
That is
because
correct.
the mind controls behavior.
That is correct. That is correct.
Yep.
Now I want to talk about this concert that you did last year where you opened up for Trina, Ludacris, DMX, Busta Rhymes, and you received so much support that the crowd started chanting your name, RA Certified, RA Certified. Tell us how that made you feel.
It was just like, it was surreal. Like, it's like I said, I just want to, thank God, because, a lot of stuff that I always dreamed is just, happening. It happens so fast that it's like, the dream seems longer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just, damn, that was a moment I always wanted. You know what I mean? I always dreamed of a crowd saying my name. I always dreamed about being on stage with people like DMX and, it's just, I just go with it as it happens. And I'm nervous every time, and I'm overwhelmed by the outcome every time. Like,
nice.
Small scale, big scale. It amazes me every time. Like, I can't walk down the street without being amazed.
That's nothing but humility.
So I'm enjoying it.
That's nothing but humility.
That's what's up.
Humble spirit. That's what that is. Humble spirit.
Yeah. Well, listen, brother, you have been a great guest. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We definitely got to have you back to talk about your long resume and bio.
Listen.
But listen, man, if you have anything coming out you want us to promote, man, hit us up. We will, we'll put it.
I just spoke to both of y'all numerous times, and y'all know I want to work, and I ain't forget about y'all, and I got, we ain't talking about that, but I got scripts.
Okay.
And they great, they great, and I only want the best people, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
I ain't forget about, don't forget about me,
Hey, look, we ain't gonna forget about you.
Listen,
but let us know we there. Yeah.
Let us know we're there. Man. Let us know.
But man,
there.
We will be there, man. But like I said, anything you want us to promote, market for you on the show, let us know. You got stuff coming up, concerts, gigs, whatever. But we always give our guests an opportunity to put their social media out there, how people can find you, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. This is your time, man. How they can find your music, YouTube, whatever. Put it all out there.
Right. You already know, man. It's your boy RA Certified, the Uptown Philly, and you already know I'm on the show right now, and y'all can check me out everywhere. RA Certified on everything, Team Danger's on everything. Make sure y'all go watch Shysters on YouTube. Make sure y'all go check out my new short film out right now, Poor Man's Dream, on YouTube. And YouTube, y'all need to give me some money.
I know that's right.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And don't forget Black Fathers on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah, Black Father everywhere, y'all. We pushing for it to get played on the mainstream radio stations, and let's just keep supporting it, and pushing it, and just keeping our people aware of what's going on.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Black Father.
Yes.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man.
Yes.
You heard it first. RA Certified. Yeah, man. Thanks so much, man, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, y'all have a good night.
All right.
You too. Thank you. Yeah. You know how they say, man, that was dope.
Man, that yo.
Listen, RA Certified Fire. Black Fathers, listen, check it out on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the video, listen.
The lyrics.
Listen to the lyrics, you guys. Listen to the lyrics. He spit nothing but the truth up in that joint. Nothing but the truth. And shout out to RA for, speaking of how, when the fathers are not around, the mothers, the women, we got to hold that down. We got to be both mother and father. And I know some men don't like to hear that we have to be the father too. But in reality, like RA said, that's just how it is. It's been like that for a long time. And you know what? Guess what? We don't want that type of behavior to continue. So fathers, come on. Yeah. Do your job. Right. Be the daddy.
Right. But and I think what he was doing was celebrating the ones that are because of this negative bunch that aren't upholding their responsibilities, the good ones get overlooked.
Yes.
And sometimes we just gotta make a choice to focus on the good ones as opposed to just giving the attention to the negative one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of good fathers, out here that are holding it down, want to hold it down and things like that. So it was great, man. And, one of the things I liked was that, he talked about being able to relate. Yep. When people listen to, lyrics and things that they want to be able to relate. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those type of songs where whether you had a father or you didn't, you still could relate to it in some kind of way, because if it didn't apply to you, you grew up with some friends in your neighborhood that didn't have fathers and, kind of went through that kind of scenario. But it was just great, man. It's much, much needed. Hopefully it will become the Father's Day anthem, man. Just like Dear Mama. Yeah, just like Dear Mama. Yeah. They shout out because that video, you guys got to see it. It's good. It's good. You got to see it. Yeah, it was really, really good, man. And, I like the fact that, and we've talked about this on the show before, he's using his music, his platform, not just to entertain, but to use it, as a platform to build, awareness and social consciousness and things like that. And, that's African American music at its origins. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was just great, man. Great guy, man. Like I said, I follow him on Facebook. You can always find pictures of him with his children, with his family and things like that. And, he's being what he didn't get, but being what he's charging other people to be in terms of the African American father. So great interview, man. He's a real talented guy. Yes. Very, very humble. And, one thing I failed to say was when I had a chance to meet him on the set of Single and Anxious, when he walked in the room, there was a positivity and a humility that came in with him. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes us as African Americans, like we walk in a room too cool. We can't speak to nobody. We got to put on this front, like we got this swag and da-da-da. And he came in like, yo, what's up? What's up? I stood up and shook his hand, gave him a hug or whatever. So it was great, man. It was all love, man. It was all love. Nice. So it was great. It was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
You hard on us, man.
No.
You hard on us.
No, I am. Listen, I love my black men. I'm sorry, I do. If I seem a little hard, brothers, I apologize. But but what I want people to understand, that being a woman and raising children by herself, right, being both mother and father, is hard, because we cannot teach a boy how to be a man. We need the man to do that.
Right.
And so when
I definitely understand.
And so when we have to step in the man's shoes to try and teach him how to do that, it's a little difficult.
Well, and I definitely agree with you 125%. I agree.
Shout out to the women who have done it successfully. Shaquille O'Neal, his mother, and then his stepfather came in. Yeah. My mother and father divorced when, I was young, and my mother had to raise all 7 of us by herself, 7 kids.
I got you.
And my father, he just went, and did his own thing, and mom was there holding it down by herself with all 7 of us.
I got you.
I turned out, went to college, and now here I am today. And, my brothers and my sisters are very successful in their careers, but she had to do all of that by herself.
I got you. I agree with you 125%. I'm not knocking anything that you're saying. What you're saying is true. Mm-hmm. I just think that, I'm coming from the perspective, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, instead of us looking at it as half empty, let's take the optimistic perspective and say the glass is half full. Let's focus on the fathers like RA Certified.
Oh yeah, you do
because the more you give attention to something, you give too much energy to it. So let's try not to give so much energy to the fathers that aren't holding it down. Let's try to give more energy as we acknowledge that they're not like you're doing. And I agree with you 125%. Let's give a little bit more energy to the good ones. That's what I'm trying to say.
Now I want to give my energy is directed towards the good ones. Like you do have some really good fathers and stepfathers and godfathers who step up to the plate to do the job. Shout out to my awesome godfather. Hey, Pastor John Cogar. Yes. Shout out to him for stepping in and, and doing the job. But just like you have those phenomenal, awesome men who have stepped in to do the job, you also have the ones who are not. Right. And it's the ones who are not doing it that we want to get to do it as well. We want to bring them over and bridge that gap as well. Right. So we want them to come together too. So that's the point that I'm making.
I got you.
We want them to come in.
I got you. I'm not knocking your point at all. I just think that, like he said in the song, the fathers do get bad raps. But what's been happening is the negative ones are talked about and focused on so much that it's like the good ones get overlooked. Because at the end of the day, it's going to always end back on, the negative ones, the ones that's not. Let's end on the positive ones that are doing it and let them, set those who are setting the example be the ones that the other ones can see and say, hey, they're doing it. And we can challenge and charge those who are not doing it to get back on, to get on that other side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why we're going to push this video and push this song so that they can see it and get back on the other side.
Right. Absolutely. And that's where community comes in.
Community.
Church comes in. Men's groups comes in. Men's retreats. Like there are vehicles, basketball leagues. There are a lot of vehicles that, can be used as instruments to charge them to get back on the other side. Right, yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's all
we want you to get back on the other side. We want you because we love you too.
Yeah, and shout out, like I said, shout out to all the women that are holding it down. Yeah. By themselves and doing a great job. And their children are turning out phenomenal. There are a lot of successful people, famous people who grew up in single parent mom homes. And here's the thing that I just don't want to happen, especially in the African American community. Sometimes our dysfunction can be dysfunctional so long that we begin to accept it as our norm. Right, because abnormal becomes normal in an abnormal situation. So most of the time in this day and age, if I had to take just an educated guess, out of every 10 homes, I guarantee you 8 of them is probably single parent mom's home. But what I don't want us to do in our consciousness and our thinking is say, hey, this is normal. Because if you're exposed to something for so long, that becomes your norm. And I'm gonna give you a good example. We need to talk about this because abnormal becomes normal in an abnormal situation. Okay. You see what I'm saying? I was watching an episode of Judge Mathis, right? So this guy, I think he was the defendant. Judge Mathis asked him, well, how many children do you have? Okay. He said, I got, he had like 8 or 9 kids. Okay. And the crowd went, woo, like that. So Judge Mathis asked him, are they all by the same woman? And this was his response. Come on, Judge. All nice and cool. Come on, Judge. You know us. You know, we don't have children by all the same. And Judge Mather has said, whoa. He said, man, don't put me in that.
Yeah.
He said, my kids are all by the same woman.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Talking about, come on, Judge, you know us. The point I'm trying to make is, does it, if there's a family dynamic where everybody didn't come from the same mom and dad, it doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make them less of a family. It doesn't make something extra wrong. But what I'm trying to say is, like, his perspective was such that this has become his norm. That's all I'm saying. So to the point where he was looking down upon the dynamic of the family of all children coming from the same mother and father. You see what I'm saying? Kids can be successful coming out of both scenarios. Right. It can work out of both scenarios. Right. But don't look down upon something else because your dysfunction has become your norm. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. We cannot adopt a perspective where, okay, it's just accepted that we're going to have single parent moms. It's just accepted, you know, because I mean, I feel fortunate and blessed that me, my brother, my sister, we got the same mom and dad. We're no better than nobody, but don't look down upon that dynamic because what was working for you or what has become your norm or norm in society was that people come from, you know, different mom and dads. Right. You know what I'm saying? Did that come out right? I want to make sure that come out right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to look down upon either side. I'm just saying we have to be careful in our thinking what we accept as being our norm. Exactly.
And we do. Yeah. And we do. Right. Especially when we're raising our kids.
Absolutely.
Especially when we're raising our kids, because we don't want them to grow up thinking that that's how it is.
Right. Because like if you grow up in a house where the way you solve problems is throwing lamps, when you see somebody that's not throwing lamps, they're going to be sitting there like, damn, they ain't going to throw no lamp? You know what I'm saying? Because that has become their norm. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like we become conditioned by our models, where we spend the most time. But when we become adults, like RA Certified, he's saying, wow, when I grew up with this dynamic, but now I'm breaking the chain. Exactly. I'm going to be what I didn't have. Exactly. But here's the thing, Nick, most people don't break the chains. Most people say, this is my model. This is how it's supposed to be. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. All we trying to do is elevate our thinking. Yes. We got to elevate our thinking,
we
man.
do. And we have to break those chains.
We got to break the chains.
We got to break them. We have to break them.
And sometimes it might be, there's a term called metacognition in psychology. Metacognition is thinking about what you're thinking about. Knowing what you know. Thinking about how you learn. Right. Sometimes we got to think about, we got to exercise metacognition. We got to think about what we're thinking about, so which means that there's going to come a time in your life where you got to look at, let's say for the sake of our show, we talk about the father, the family. You got to look at that dynamic and say, what was right? What was wrong? Right. What worked? What didn't work? Right. What can I continue that I learned that was good? What can I discontinue that didn't work or wouldn't be good for somebody to pass down to their children? You understand what I'm saying? That introspection is so important if we're going to break the chains, because if you don't, you're going to repeat the cycle.
That's right.
You're going to repeat the cycle. And that's why.
And we don't need to repeat those cycles.
We don't need to repeat the cycles.
We do not need to repeat those cycles. Those are cycles we definitely want to break.
Absolutely.
Especially with our children. Absolutely. We definitely want to break that. That's right. That's good stuff. Yeah. That's good stuff.
All right. So
we're going to move right on into it.
News and sports?
News and sports.
Let's do it.
We got a lot going on.
Oh, man. I already feel in my heart it's going to all tie together.
We got
I don't know what Nikki going to talk about. She don't know what I'm going to talk about. But I guarantee y'all, in our unscripted, the Kevin and Nikki show, it's going to tie together. All right, so you want to go first? Am I doing the sports first? Or what? All right, let's do sports. All right, look. NBA Finals,
y'all. I guarantee you're going to talk about something.
Oh, you know it's going to tie. I already feel it. All right, I got to touch on the NBA Finals. Okay, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics tied 3-3. LBJ in his last performance, 46 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. 1 assist away from a triple-double, despite Scary Terry Rozier and Jaylen Brown's performance. The Cleveland Cavaliers prevailed 109-99. Then we had the Golden State Warriors. They were tied 3-3 as well. They beat the Rockets 115-86. Klay Thompson scored 35 points, had 6 rebounds and 2 assists, in spite James Harden's assault against them. In other news in sports, I want to talk about Sterling Brown. Milwaukee Bucks rookie was bum rushed and tased in a Walgreens parking lot for a parking violation. Now, I went and watched the video.
What?
Yes, I went and watched the video, and all I'm going to say is watch the video, Google it and watch it for yourself. The police officer was definitely trying to bait him on into confrontation. He's standing there talking, saying, hey, are you going to give me a ticket or no? The officer's calling for backup and all this old stuff. He made this big scene out of it. Next thing I know, they bum rush him. They did not know he played for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's on the ground face down, got his face smashed into the ground, and they ended up tasing him. His whole thinking, what he said according to the article, was that, listen, I have a lot to live for. I'm just not going to give them a reason to pull out their gun and shoot him. And then later, once they found out who he was and reviewed the video from the body cam, they issued an apology.
What?
So yeah, so these are some of the things that's going on. I know we're going to talk more about this. And then in other sports news, the NFL has ruled that players must stand during the national anthem or wait in the locker room. Okay. Silent, of course, we know that they were kneeling due to the silent protest to police brutality against unarmed African Americans. And that's kind of what it was. I want to make it clear that the kneeling has nothing to do with not supporting the troops. It has to do with the silent protest of the police brutality that's going on in our society and our communities. And of course, our president, Donald Trump, said that they shouldn't be in the country. So I researched some information on this. I'm very information driven. And there was a question that was posed, and this is very interesting. Do NFL players have a First Amendment right on the football field? And the short answer is no. NFL teams are private companies, making the First Amendment a mostly moot point. The players can be subject to discipline or termination as employees if they don't follow league rules. So there was a guy by the name of Erwin Cheraminsky. He's the dean of Berkeley Law and constitutional law expert. He told the Washington Post, the First Amendment does not apply to private institutions. Private employees can fire employees for their speech without having to worry about the First Amendment. So y'all got to understand what's going on here. What they're saying is, as a private commodity, you by league rules or team rules, you have to stand, or the NFL players have to stand during the national anthem. But here's the out. The out is, or wait in the locker room. So basically what they're doing is, by giving them an out, they're saying that the out to wait in the locker room, you can exercise if you want, your First Amendment right in the locker room. So it's a really, really fuzzy equation, such that these are private companies. And so they can kind of govern their rules and things like that, how they see fit. I definitely want to do more research into it and find out, because I always thought that the First Amendment was the First Amendment, whether it was private or it was public. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in news, I was going to talk about that.
Okay. I already told you. Look,
I was going to talk about that. Because,
what did I say?
And we got to talk about it because when I first saw it, I was heated.
Okay.
I was heated. And the reason why I was heated is because these are people who come and they come and they do their job daily. Right. So you mean to tell me that you can't fight for them? Right. You mean to tell me that you can't help out your employees? You can't stand up for your employees? Right. They come, they play, do what they're supposed to do, win games, put butts in seats. And you mean to tell me that you can't fight for them? You can't stand up for them? But they got to do what you say because you hold their paycheck? Right. That's unfair. Right. That's unfair. So that's basically saying, because I pay you, you got to do what I say. I don't care about what you're going through. Right. I don't care. It's not affecting me, so why should I care? Right. That's not right. So now what's going to happen? Let's say they all go into the locker room and they wait in the locker room. Then you're going to turn around and come out with something about them waiting in the locker room. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a whole football field, a whole team standing in the locker room because they don't want to come out on the national anthem. Then what you going to come out with? Right. You're going to come out with something else. Right. And that's not right.
Because they make the rules.
That's not right. Because you don't care about those players.
Right.
You don't care, because if you did, your response would have been different.
Right. And then, you know, you had Michael Bennett, who played, at that time, he was playing for the Seattle Seahawks. He was, he faced police brutality, and the police put a gun to his head. Then you got Sterling Brown from the Milwaukee Bucks, and now it's getting to a point where they even doing this to famous African Americans.
But see, here's the thing. They're doing it to famous people of color.
Right, right.
They're not doing it to the others.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't care because it's not you.
Right.
It's not you. You can walk out of the stadium and get in your car with no problem at all.
Right. And you know
what I mean? It's not right.
Yeah,
it's so how can you say that you are somebody's boss if you don't care about what your employee is going to? Aren't you concerned about morale?
Right. Right. And you know what? That's why I had a lot of respect for Popovich from the coach of the San Antonio Spurs, because he went on record by saying that there is a such thing as like white privilege.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, for him to say that, you know, that was like coming from him, that was like real. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, we're going to get around to Jason's letter.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to get around that. And we got to get Terrence Takeem on the show.
Yes, we do.
I read Delia Delancey, the awesome director of The Decade. She put a post on Facebook that I read. She said she was explaining to a Caucasian person about a scenario where African American was snatched out their car and, you know, mistreated by the police and things like that. And the Caucasian person immediate response was, I don't believe that the police would do that for no reason. Did they have weed? Or they smell like marijuana? Did they have a gun? And Delia went on to say, wow, it's clear that they're living in a different world.
Yes.
And they don't have a clue.
Yes.
And so back to Jason's letter, the scene with Brian A. Mm-hmm. The scene with Brian A. where he was being, harassed by the cops in the hallway. Mm-hmm. John Mitchell was one of the police officers that played the character. And the two Caucasian, the man and woman, was sitting there watching the whole thing. And Brian A.'s character said, you know, his statement to them, they said something, then Brian A. said, see, that's the problem. You don't believe unless you see it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's clear that we're living under a different pressure, a different scope. I mean, I wear black hoodies to keep warm, not because I'm trying to rob somebody, but I noticed that, and I have a black fitted baseball cap.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I walk into certain places, if there's a security guard at the door, they're putting their hands on their gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I haven't done anything except just walk in there. I'm minding my business. Of course, with my height can be imposing. But why does it have to automatically be assumed that because somebody's wearing a black fitted baseball cap or a black hoodie that you're automatically a criminal? Mm-hmm. Sterling Brown from the Milwaukee Bucks, he was wearing a black hoodie. Mm-hmm. But last time I checked, the base salary for the NBA is $500,000. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't trying to rob. Was he trying to rob somebody? He don't need to rob nobody. He's in the 1%. Mm-hmm. Why did he have to be viewed as a criminal? But they didn't know who he was, quote unquote.
And see, my whole thing is, and we've said this before on the show, you don't care because it's not at your door.
Right, right.
But let it be at your door. Let those tables turn.
Right.
For, I would say, 24 hours.
Right, right.
I guarantee you.
Right.
You'll see it.
Right.
Because it's going to be at your door.
Right.
For 24 hours. Walk in a black man's shoes for 24 hours. Right. I guarantee you your whole attitude will change.
I agree with that.
And it's not going to change until that happens.
Right. I definitely
You don't care because it's not at your door.
And
you can go to sleep.
Right.
You know, these what do you call it? These big wigs of the NFL, whatever. They can go to sleep.
Right.
They can kiss their children. No problem.
Right.
No problem. They don't have to have the conversations that we have to have with our children.
That's right.
They don't have to do that.
Right.
They send their kids and put them on the school bus by, and that's it.
Right.
We got to have a whole conversation before the kid even walk out the door.
Right, right.
And then pray that their behinds come back safely.
Right, right.
It's not right.
Right.
It's not right.
Here's the other thing. Sterling Brown of the Milwaukee Bucks, his father is a police officer.
How about that?
And he said in his interview, he said that his model of what police officers were was his father. So he thought all police officers was good until he had this experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, and you're right, Nick, we got to have, conversations with our nephews, our sons. We got to have conversations of what and what not to do in the event you end up in this situation. And when you watch the video, the cop pushed him. He pushed him for no reason. And he said, and Sterling Brown, he was talking very, very calm, just like that. He said, sir, basically, I just want to know, why did you have to push me? Well, I told you to back up and you didn't. But he stepped up to him. Then he's on the mic calling for, he's like, why are you calling for backup? Like, I'm not doing anything. Like, what are you doing this for? He calling for backup. No, cops racing up. It was a crazy scenario, but I thank God that it didn't turn out fatal.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that he had the wisdom,
but
you see what I'm saying, to be able to handle a bad situation.
But, I thank God that it did not turn out fatal, but can you imagine if it did, and then after they killed him, they found out that he was Sterling K. Brown of the Milwaukee Bucks?
Right.
The shock, the horror on their face when they find that out, that they just killed, you know what I mean?
Right.
But why does it even have to go there?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because we're judged. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that due to what I look like physically, 6'7", tall, dark skin, sometimes I wear, like I said, my black fitted baseball cap. I actually bought it because I was creating a character in what was Passing Stories. I was wearing, I wanted, because we were the Lookout people. And, I wear my black, hoodie and stuff like that. And it's like, I understand that I'm going to be judged and I have to use and exercise wisdom from day to day in terms of how I govern myself, and things like that. But at the same time, it's such a shame because I have such a decorated resume. And I don't look like an award-winning actor when I have on a black-footed baseball cap, sweatpants, a pair of Jordans, a Bruce Lee t-shirt, and black hoodie.
And that's sad. So now you have to dress a certain way to come out your house just to go to the store to keep from getting killed.
Right. And then, you know how sometimes, certain places you got to go through, like when you go to a hospital, you got to go through metal detector and you got to put your stuff, in the little plastic container and they got, So now my concern is, what if God forbid, my cell phone gets mistaken as a gun? Yeah. So I'm just SOL. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And only thing they can do is issue an apology. The guy Stefan, he was in his grandmother's backyard. Mm-hmm. They got it wrong. Mm-hmm. He didn't have a gun. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, now is our lives based on the judgment and decision of, come on, let's face it, let's keep it real. Of some cops, sometimes cops are looking to pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. They're being combative. If you watch the video where Sterling Brown, which I took the time to watch, you can tell that the cop was being combative. Mm-hmm. And the lady who was the narrator, who was a Caucasian lady, was saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. So, I truly do believe that there is I'm going to say this. Whenever you see behaviors, because, you may see behaviors like perhaps on your job, people coming to work, they're violating policy and procedures. When you see people doing that willfully, it's because they know they got backing somewhere. Mm-hmm. If I do this, I'm not going to get in trouble because I know so-and-so is the director. Exactly. And I compare that to these shootings and stuff like that. When you know that there's a system that's going to back you, even though we're getting you on film, it's a system that's going to back you to get you off.
And let me tell you this. Remember, I said I brought the story to our show that Starbucks were closing 8,000 of its stores so that they can undergo training, right? How about everybody don't have to come? You don't have to come if you don't want to.
Oh, that's what they told the people about the training?
You do not have to come. It is not mandatory that you come to the, racial bias training.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
It is not mandatory that you come.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of stuff? How are you going to close 8,000 stores and then
make
say,
it optional?
there you go, and make it optional?
Like they going because you got a lot of people that's just like, we don't see what the problem is.
Okay, so if I don't have to come, I'm not going. Mm-hmm. I'll use a sick day or a vacation day.
Right.
Let that day pass over, and then I'll go to work the next day. Are you serious? Mm-hmm. A waste of time. Yeah. So you basically just gave them a paid day off.
Right, for real.
A waste of time.
And basically, a lot of that stuff is to appeal, and this is just my opinion, appeal to the public that we've done something.
You haven't done anything. It should be mandatory. It should be mandatory. And you know, shout out to Fox 29 anchor Mike Jarrett. He said, well, why do it then?
Right.
He said, why close the stores if you're going to make it mandatory? If you're not going to make it mandatory for them to show up. Right. He said, that's a waste of time.
Right.
That's a waste of time.
Yeah. So we got some problems on our hands. We here at the Kevin and Nikki Show, we're going to talk about it. We're going to be real relevant. Sometimes we're going to get a little raw with it, but we're going to put a balanced truth out there. But we're going to call it like we see it. So we have a problem. We got to have these conversations.
We have to
with
have
our
these conversations.
nephews, our sons, our neighborhood kids. And, it's real. And it's just kind of frustrating when there are people who don't walk in our shoes, just can't see what the problem is. Mm-hmm. But like I said, if the shoe was on the other foot, I think they see it that way.
If the shoe was on the other foot and it was happening to them, they would shut the United States down.
Right. Because a lot of times
until they get it fixed.
They get it fixed.
You know what I mean? They will shut the city down. Yeah. This happened to me. I'm suing everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got a lot of problems.
We got a lot.
And then we got the school shootings and massacres going on. And would it be fair or right? Every time we saw, someone that looked like them, we had our hands on our gun. Okay, here come one now. He must be here to shoot up the place. Like, it tends to be this societal imbalance where certain things aren't treated equally in importance and in values. Thus, that's why they came up with the Black Lives Matter. It wasn't to isolate other cultures or to make one, bigger. Of course, we know all lives matter. It was just something that was geared towards what was happening with the African American community, at that time. So that's all. Yep. That was enough right there.
That's enough right there. Yeah. That's enough to give you a headache and make you want to go get a vodka and cranberry or something. We don't drink on this show, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, we don't drink. Don't drink, people.
Yeah, don't.
Was that our public service announcement?
Yes.
Don't drink. Okay.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. Don't drink at all.
Don't do it at all.
Don't drink. All right. So what we got?
We're going to take a break.
All right, we're going to take a break.
And when we come back, listen, we're going to try to get ourselves together.
I already told you it was going to tie in.
Yeah.
I already know. Because I never know what you're going to talk about. And it flows, man. Everything flows.
When we come back, it's going to be time for
What's Bothering Nikki? What's Bothering Nikki?
It's a lot bothering Nikki. I'm going to tell you that right now. A whole lot.
All the shorties in the club, let me see your chest. Back it up, drop it down, let me see your chest. Get low, scrub the ground, let me see your chest. Push it up, let me see your chest.
Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble, yeah.
It's like condos, man. I'm shaking the city like quake. Haters blue in the face like Gonzo, cause I'm breaking the gate, so let's bake. I'm taking the game's mine. Y'all witness the change, it's my time. Yeah, I'm new to the game, but y'all might wanna say me whack, cause they like saying the time. I can dance, homie, I don't teach ya. Y'all looking at something like a true player. A girl told me that a man that can dance might could possibly get down with the tool in his pants. I'm a ladies, let me see it vibrate. Okay, and when it's over, you ain't gonna need your bird. Cause I'm a pro, make you bend your back low, then the pound of real bad. Wobble baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble, yeah. Big girl, Yeah. Make a bag, get up. Hey, big girl. Make a bag, get up. Make a bag, get up. Hey, big girl. Make a bag, get up. Girl, wobble it, and I'ma gobble it. Yeah. I say you're moving your head, go ahead, babble it. We can cradle the bed, I'm straight racking it. The girl say, man, like this, double rack shit. Damn, I'm so explicit, but I can't help it, my flow ridiculous. Boy, got a gift like it gotta be Christmas. Swing on this like it gotta be gifted. The girls brought cameras, and they want pictures, and they gon' frame them to see that. Let them know the bed while I'm saying my scriptures. Cause I leave you holy like you pray in the temple. One I move with the letter of a pencil. And mine won't miss you. Good night, kiss you. Take your damn back, cause you got pistol. And I don't think you think about these issues. Wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Big girl, make a bag, get up. Yeah. Make a bag, get up. Hey, big girl, make a bag, get up. Yeah. Make a bag, get up. Hey, big girl, make a bag, get up. Yeah. Make a bag, get up. Hey, big girl, make a bag, get up. Yeah. Make a bag, get up.
You're listening to the Kevin and Nikki Show on iHeartRadio. Hope you're enjoying it.
Yo, right. Listen, you cannot have a block party without the wobble. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, because you got to do the up, back, the side to side. You got to swing your hair and all that kind of stuff. Like, big girl, yeah, back it up, yeah.
There's been a lot of backing them up songs today, man. Are you in a backing it up mood? Or what's going on, man?
How did we get here?
We got to talk. But the song got me there. That's what it got me there. We got to talk. But anyway, we're back with the Kevin and Nikki Show on iHeartRadio and a whole lot more, man. And it's time for my favorite part of the show. It's What's Bothering Nikki. What's bothering Nikki?
Listen. All right, you know what? I'm just going to jump right on into it. You say you're my friend, but you don't give 2 cents about what I'm going through. I'm going to say it again. You say you're my friend, but you don't give 2 cents about what I'm going through. Wow. You don't understand what I'm going through because it's not happening to you.
Right.
You know, you don't understand how a mother has to talk to her children before the kids walk out of the door because you don't have to talk to yours.
That's right.
You don't understand how the mother has to pray over her child before her child walk out of the door because you don't have to pray over yours because you know that yours is going to come back home. Mm-hmm. You don't care about what I'm going through, right. But you say you're my friend.
Got you.
So my thing is, we should just stop being friends. You know what I mean? Until you realize, until you understand what's going on with me and how a mother has to talk to her children and has to sit in the window and wait for her children to get home safely. Until you understand that, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
We just can't. We can't be friends. Because what I see is that people of color, it hurts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It hurts. We may not say every day that, you know, we're in pain, but you can just look on our faces, look at how we look to at our kids and see the frustration there.
Yeah.
You know, and then you say, oh girl, don't worry about it. What do you mean, oh girl, don't worry about it? Mm-hmm. We have to worry about it.
Right.
Because there is no guarantee that our children is going to come back home in the same form that they left us.
Right.
No mother wants to get that call from work. Hey, you got to come down to the hospital.
Right.
And no mother or father want to have that cop come to the door and say, hey, are you Miss So-and-so?
Right. Sorry to inform you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's a hurt piece.
Yeah.
And it seems like this is happening every single day.
Yeah. And that's the same thing.
But you don't care because it's not happening to you.
Right. Yeah.
So how can you say that you're my friend and when I'm crying over my brother, my nephews, my father, my uncles, you're not crying over yours?
Right.
You know what I mean? So we can't be friends. That's all I got.
And that's what Sterling Brown said, man. He said this stuff is going on in our community every day.
It's every day. You know, that a mother is waiting patiently for her kid to come home and praying that the kid didn't get stopped by the police.
Right.
You know, sending the child to the store and praying that the child make it back home with the loaf of bread safely.
Right. Right.
Child goes to a party. Don't wear that. Take that off.
Right.
Don't put that hoodie on. Take that off. Put on a regular t-shirt. Because we want to make sure you come home safely. Your kids can walk around in the hoodies all day long.
Yeah. Because it's going to be interpreted different. You know, if an African American is wearing a hoodie, definitely a black hoodie, it's going to be interpreted, viewed in a negative light. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be viewed in a negative light. And so therefore, you know, we have to, you know, be more precautious. But it's sad that we have to have conversations about clothing. You know, you can't exercise your freedom of speech, you know, with certain clothing in fear of losing your life. You know what I'm saying? And because every time an African American wears a black hoodie, black fitted baseball cap, they could be a doctor. You know what I mean? They could be a lawyer. They could be an award-winning actor. They could be a best-selling writer. They could be a professional basketball player. They could be something, you know, it doesn't automatically mean that, you know, they need to be viewed as this villain or criminal or monster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just for us to have to be in, like what you're talking about, in a position where we have to have these conversations, it just speaks to where we are as a society. While we've come far, we still got a long way to go. It's just we got a long way to go.
Right. And my thing is that we have to start seeing and understanding how the other person feels.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? We have to.
You got to put yourself in other people's shoes.
We have to start doing that, because if we do not, we are just walking around like just walking around.
Yeah. Yeah, because like and
walking around.
You put it so plainly. I mean, the bottom line is people don't care, like you said, unless it's them. And you know, I heard a proverb that said, "Those who show mercy will be shown mercy." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that it is an awesome human quality to be able to show sympathy and empathy. But, you know, we're just in a day and age where, you know, compassion, empathy, sympathy is becoming more of a lost human characteristic, you know, than ever before. I mean, I remember when I was younger where the neighborhoods was neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. We sat on the porch and my dad would talk to the next door neighbor, Mr. Jack, and if you needed bread, they would go get bread. It was like there was a care for somebody else other than your selfish self. Mm-hmm. And we're not there. Right. We're not there now. As long as it ain't their children, as long as it ain't their husband, their wife, their whatever, their family, their finances, their job, they don't care. Mm-hmm. You know,
like,
people don't care.
Do you care about what your friends are going through?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we talked about in news and sports, the NFL. You know, I come to work for you daily.
Right.
So you mean to tell me you don't care about me, my well-being?
Right.
You don't care about what's bothering me, and I come to work daily.
Right.
Do my job daily. Fill the stadium daily.
Right.
You know, play the game daily. So what am I to you?
Right.
It becomes that. What am I to you?
Mm-hmm.
By you doing what you did and making the decision that you made, you pretty much have shown me that you don't care about me, and I am nothing to you. Mm-hmm. But just somebody to run up and down the field and catch a ball. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so we're going to take a break. Yep, it's the Kevin and Nikki Show on iHeartRadio and a whole lot more. You dig?
trust isn't love when we want it to be. I guess that's what I've learned. You said you're sorry, here's my turn. Yeah, too long for me to say these words. 2 hours every weekend when I drove to your house, spending all a day with your dog on the couch, falling for you when I don't know what I'm about. 2 lonely kids say they figured it out. It wasn't real though our feelings were. You love me more, I hurt you more. You like to drink so your feelings poor. I treated you like I do a storm. I stayed in while your tears poured. I ran away when the wind blew. You try to fix everything we went through. All I ever did was change. You blame me, I don't blame you. Closer to God, the more distant I felt. Ocean of love turned to a mountain of guilt. I hate the way that I dealt with you and myself. Felt like I was saving us, I wasn't, I couldn't tell. Cause all you ever did was listen. I disregarded what you felt and thought. You were scared to tell me anything. But you gave me your heart and I couldn't hand it back. Gave me a chance but I couldn't make it last. Left you my things cause I couldn't go back and feel everything I could have had. I was in a dark place, I ain't blaming anybody else. I could never be the man that you want me to be. When I did I lost everything else. So I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I'm sorry for the things that I said to you. I'm sorry for the way that I am to you. I'm sorry cause I know that I let you down. I'm sorry cause I know I won't be around. I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who knows where the wind blows? Who knows where the pain goes? How does someone know your soul? Then you wonder where they went while you're looking out the window. Best friends to strangers. Were they even friends at all? Turn a new leaf in the fall, so they leave me to fall. See them change like leaves in the fall. Yeah, is anything real at all? Looking at the mirror, red eyes, gotta need a call. Tell me that you're here, wonder if I'm even me at all. Lately I don't feel it, it ain't real till you know it's gone. I just hate how we left things. So I owe you this letter that I wrote. Only 2 ways a love dies. It blows up or it fades slow. There's a knot in my chest and a one untied. No matter what, I'm always there, another one of my lies. Boxes of promises all on the side. I'm not there cause I know you're doing better. I'm not there cause I know it hurts. I'm not there cause of all of this. I'm not there cause I make you worse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I'm sorry for the things that I said to you. I'm sorry for the way that I am to you. I'm sorry cause I know that I let you down. I'm sorry cause I know I won't be around. I'm sorry for everything.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a very, very...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was very,
he is sorry.
Yeah, he's sorry for... Yeah, he definitely was sorry. He said it a lot, didn't he?
Sorry for the things that I put you through. All right.
Sorry for the thing that I started to do. Well, we got the theme of that one. He hurt somebody, so he said
hurt
sorry.
Somebody, so he gotta apologize. Well, you know what? He apologized.
He did apologize.
And he it hurt him so bad he had to write about it.
He had to write about it. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, you know, now it's time for my favorite part of the show. Kevin's Corner. What you sorry about, Kevin?
All right. So y'all heard the song.
What you sorry about, Kevin?
I want to talk about why hurt people hurt people.
Ooh, stop.
All right. But I want to start off with the golden rule. All right. And I'm going to give you some new insight. Maybe it might be not new insight, but some insight into the golden rule. And it might be not what you traditionally have come to know about the golden rule, you know, which states, it doesn't really mean that you should treat someone else exactly as you want them to treat you, though it can mean that. It means that you should try to imagine how they want to be treated and do that. All right. So when you put yourself in their shoes, it's tied into what Nikki just said. Ask yourself how you think they would want to be treated. But you heard the song. I'm going to talk about why hurt people hurt people. I'm just going to give some common traits of why hurt people hurt people or the characteristics they display in their interactions with others. Now that hurt people is the old counselor slogan. Number one, hurt people often transfer their anger issues onto their family and close friends. All right. There's always like a transfer. Hurt people interpret every word spoken to them through the prism of their pain. So, they may hear somebody say something and it's seen through the lens of their pain. All right. Hurt people interpret every action through the prism of their pain. Somebody does something, it was automatically geared towards them or to try to hurt them. And that's not always the case. Hurt people often portray themselves as victims and carry a victim mentality. Now, mind you, hurt people hurt other people, but hurt people tend to live as victims. And one of the things I want to qualify as I move forward is all of us are hurting from something. But, we're talking about, when we talk about hurt people, hurting people as a way of life, is because they haven't moved to a point in place where they've come to grips with their pain to the point where they can manage it and have healthy relationships with people. Because the fact of the matter, we all can exchange stories of how we got hurt by something. In fact, we're being hurt every day. When you drive down the street and somebody cuts you off, that's a rejection that causes hurt. Or, maybe a coworker, telling a lie on you. That's a rejection that causes hurt. So we're being hurt every day, but it's how we respond to that hurt. And we're talking about, when we say hurt people, we're talking about people who haven't and aren't responding to their hurt and pain so much so that it's causing them to hurt other people. All right. So hurt people often alienate others and wonder why no one is there for them. You know what I'm saying? Because the bottom line is, if there's a cactus and you touch it and get stuck, I don't think you're going to go back and touch it again. No. You're going to try to stay far away from it. Yep. So hurt people can be like that cactus. You know what I'm saying? They hurt others. You know what I mean? Hurt people have the emotional maturity of the age they receive their undealt with hurt. You might see a person that they might be an adult, but they act like a 16-year-old. Well, maybe perhaps they had, a traumatic experience, some kind of deep-rooted pain, and they got stuck. And that's why you heard me say on a previous show that time doesn't heal all wounds. You cannot conquer what you do not confront.
That's right.
Because as human beings, we have what we call mechanisms that help us to deal with suffering, pain, trauma. And one of them is to depress it or bury it. And so just because something is depressed or buried, all you need is a trigger and it will rise up again. So also moving on, hurt people often are often frustrated and depressed because past pain continually spills over into their present consciousness. They're kind of living from the past in the present, and it's kind of shaping their thinking, their emotions, and their behaviors, especially their behaviors towards other people. Hurt people often erupt with inappropriate emotions because particular words, actions, and circumstances touch or trigger past woundedness. What I just got finished talking about. You might be having a conversation with somebody and say something that triggers something in them from their past, and now they angry at you and hate you, and all you were was the object of something that reminded them or took them to a place where they tried to bury or don't want to be. And then you have what we already talked about, the transfer. You know what I'm saying? Hurt people often occupy themselves with busyness, work, performance, and or accomplishments as a way of compensating for low self-esteem. All right. Hurt people often attempt to medicate themselves with excessive entertainment, sometimes drugs, alcohol, and hobbies as a way to forget their pain and run from the reality. Hurt people have learned to accommodate their private false self or dark side, which causes them to be duplications and lack integrity. And this speaks to what we call being a sociopath. You're portraying one thing to the public that, a person is a flower or that you're this good person, but really who and what you really are is that demonstrating that dark or lack of morals, values, and integrity. Hurt people are often self-absorbed with their own pain or unaware that they are hurting other people. So they don't even see. There's a level of blindness. Hurt people are susceptible to self-deception. That takes me to my next point. Sometimes they just cannot see. They looking at you like, what are you so upset for? They just can't see that their behaviors, their actions, their words, their behaviors are causing people around them pain. And sometimes pain will surface in our lives or in the lives of hurt people so that they can face reality. And last but not least, hurt people need to forgive, to be released and restored freedom. And as we always say, counsel is not a cuss word. Listen, if your pain is causing you to not have healthy, good relationships, because like, as I said on the show last week, we all have pain. We have pain we caused ourselves. We have pain that was out of our control. And I like this last part. Your mess can become your message. I think we kind of heard that thing come out with RA Certified.
Yeah, and I like that last one where it says hurt people need to forgive to be released and restore to freedom.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to forgive.
Right.
You know, they want to hold on to that stuff. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know,
because you only hurt yourself.
Yeah, it's no freedom. There is no freedom in unforgiveness.
Right. Unforgiveness changed the person that's unforgiving.
Yeah.
And unresolved hurt is going to turn to anger. Anger becomes bitterness, resentment, wrath, rage, revenge, hatred. It's like a procession. And the longer one stays in that unforgiving state, we all have been unforgiving towards something at a period of time. Maybe we wasn't ready to forgive just yet. But, you know, we have to learn that I need to move out of this place because if I stay there, it's going to eat me alive. Because they say anger, which stems from unresolved hurt, it's like acid. It's going to eat up the container.
Right.
And then if you're in a situation where nobody wants to be your friend, you got to bribe people into being your friend. I mean, the only time people come around when you're giving them stuff like, come on, I'm going to cook food or I'm going to, you know, you have to stop and think that maybe it might be me.
Yeah.
I might just be the problem.
Yeah.
You know, and you have some people, it was one of the points that was one of the bullet points that I read from this. It says that hurt people tend to have a mentality that people are out to get them. So they try to get you first before you get them. You know what I'm saying? And I want to add one too, you know, people who are hurting and demonstrate this kind of behavior who become sociopathic. Like when I talked about that sociopathic part, they already know that when you find out who the real them are, you ain't going to want to be around them.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to be around them.
Yeah.
So,
that was good.
Hurt people, man. You know? And, you know, it's one of them things where you can take measures before you get to the I'm sorry. Because sometimes I'm sorry don't always repair. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah,
a lot of hurt people out there.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah. And this, at the end of the day, this thing is about healthy relationships. You know, nobody was built to be an island. But if you're out here hurting people, you're going to end up being an island.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're going to get out being an island. And it's just, you know, coming to that point of realization to say, hey, maybe I might be responsible for some of this. Not all of it, but some of it, because, you know, that kind of thing. So that's it, man. That's all I got.
That's good. That was really good.
That's all I got. So we're going to put it out there. I'm actor-Kevin-D-Benton, and you can find me on Facebook and Twitter, @Kevin-D-Benton on Twitter, actor-Kevin-D-Benton on Facebook. And we just want to thank you guys once again for tuning in week in and week out and chiming in on Facebook and, you know, becoming a part of the Kevin and Nikki family and community.
Yes. And you can find me on Facebook, Nikki Warren, on Twitter, @NikkiWarren, and on Instagram, the gram as they call it. Hello, I'm Nikki. That's HELLOIM, Nikki, NIKEE. You can find our show, The Kevin Nikee Show, on iHeartRadio. And you can find us on Facebook, The Kevin and Nikee Show. And you can find us on Twitter, @KevinNikee-show. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns for RA Certified, whoop, whoop, you can hit us up, the Kevin and Nikee Show at yahoo.com. Yahoo. Okay, you can hit us up. Listen, we will read those questions to him, get the answer, and read it right on, answer your questions right on the air. We love to talk to you, so talk to us.
Yeah,
and listen, don't forget, check out our YouTube pages. We got movies up there.
Yes, sir. Actor-Kevin-d-benton.
Come on now. Actress-Nikee-Warren, come on now. Come on.
Check us out.
I am labeling the stuff correctly, you guys. So come on. Check us out. Give us a thumb up and hit that bell so that every time we post something, you will get notified that we got something new. Okay?
Yeah.
Now. Do not forget.
June 15th.
June 15th.
Friday, June 15th.
Friday, June 15th is National Actor-Kevin-d-Benton and National Actress-Nikee-Warren Day.
That's it.
Yes, because we going to be in the building.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Venice Island. It's the theater at Venice Island. It's going down at 6:30 red carpet.
Yes.
Get your tickets. Go to www.spiralaward.com. The tickets are $30 and going fast. It's going to sell out. It's going to be an unforgettable night. And we just might have some surprises during the course of the show.
Hello.
We are going to be awarded.
Yes, we want you come and, strut that red carpet with us. We want you come down and support us, period.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because I want to look out in the audience and see your faces, especially when I'm giving my speech for support, because your girl going to be nervous.
That's right.
Okay, so, yes, June 15th.
June 15th.
Looking forward to it. And listen, it is fastly approaching.
It's like 2 weeks? 2 weeks away?
Yeah.
It might be less than 2 weeks.
It may be less than 2 weeks.
I think it's like 2 weeks. Yeah.
Because, oh my goodness, I'm so nervous.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time, man. Yeah. It's going to be great. We're going to be awarded Best Film Actor and Best Film Actress. So honored, so humble.
Yes.
And some of the best blessings are ones that just come out of nowhere.
Are they though?
You know what I mean? Like you didn't expect it. You know what I mean? You didn't reach for it. You know what I mean? It just the stars lined up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And let me tell you something. I am so grateful. I'm humbled. I'm telling you, I just don't know how to feel right now, because this is the part that you want to get to as an actor and actress, where someone says, you know what, you were dope in that, and they give you an award for it. That basically means you got a whole lot of fans out there that's liking your work, they want to give you, awards for that thing.
That's right.
So shout out to the Spiral Awards for acknowledging a brother and a sister.
Yeah. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. And, it really is humbling, man. It really is humbling. And, like I said, it just hasn't sank in. And, maybe it will, the night of. Maybe it will once it's on my, my mantelpiece. But we are just really, really excited to, for our body of work to be acknowledged and honored, along with our friends. And so it's going to be great. It's going to be great. We're looking forward to it.
Yep, sir. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we're out of here.
Peace.
On you, you're digging on me.
You have been listening to the Kevin and Nikki Show on iHeartRadio and a whole lot more.